Let's kick things off with, well, Happy New Year from us at Top Gear Philippines. And of course, a new year means a whole round of all new models we can expect to land in the Philippines, along with a couple more that we'd love to see here soon. So, what exactly does 2023 have in store for us? Well, enough chit-chat, let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with a luxury brand, in this case BMW. Now, Bimmer fans are in for a treat this year because several models have been confirmed to arrive this year. This includes the iX3 electric crossover, the 7 Series, the rather controversial looking one, and the LCI, your updated version of the 3 Series. But what really has us stoked for 2023 is the reintroduction of the 3 Series touring in the country. Yes, folks, the wagon is back. Continuing on the theme of luxury, we move on to Ferrari, and last year they introduced their first ever crossover, the Puro Sangue. Now, Ferrari doesn't really like us calling it a crossover or an SUV, so we'll just call it a Grand Tourer with extra clearance. But either way, we're looking forward to seeing this model here sometime soon, although nothing's been set in stone just yet. So from ultra-luxe brands, we move on to GAC, the Chinese automaker. Now, GAC had pretty big news last year, shifting to a new management under the Astara Group. Now, the Astara Group is also the same group that handles Peugeot in the Philippines. And with that, we can expect 2 incoming models this year, namely the GS8 midsize crossover and the MPOW 55 sports sedan, which we saw during the Manila International Auto Show last year. So what about Kia? Well, Kia previewed the EV6 pure electric vehicle during the Philippine International Motor Show around late last year. And at the time, there weren't a lot of details about it just yet, what exact battery range we'll be getting and whatnot, what the Philippine spec model will be like. However, we reckon this is going to be the year where Kia Philippines releases all the details about it and what the Philippine spec model will be like. So watch this space. Moving on to Mazda, and they made quite a lot of buzz last year because they just launched 3 all-new crossovers, and these are the CX-50, the CX-60, which seems to aim for the luxury market, and the rotary extended version of the MX-30. Now, the MX-30 is pretty interesting because think of it as a Nissan Kicks e-Power but with a rotary engine. But so far, none of that's been confirmed for local release, although we would like to see them expand the local lineup soon. Whereas BMW is making a lot of noise about their 2023 releases as early as now, Mercedes-Benz would prefer to keep their cards closer to their chests. That said, the only thing that isn't all new in their lineup is the GLC crossover, and we reckon that's going to be coming sometime this year. Only time will tell when exactly it will land here, but surely we can expect it here, right? Let's move on to the mainstream brands, starting with Ford, and 2022 was a very strong year for the American automaker. That's because they launched the all-new versions of the Ranger and the Everest, so what can we expect from them this year? Well, here's to hoping that Ford will bring out the all-new Ranger Raptor in the Philippines because after all, it's already available in the neighboring countries. There's also the all-new Ford Territory, which not only has been making rounds around our neighboring countries, but it's also available now in the Middle East and even the Americas. So Ford Philippines, baka naman. Hold up. Isuzu only makes 2 mainstream models, so what could we expect from this company? Well, they did just launch the facelifted models of the MU-X and D-Max in Thailand about late last year. So it's only a matter of time before they do land here since we do source our units from Thailand. And if we can make one request for the 4x4 models of the MU-X and D-Max, Isuzu, please add a rear def locker to these models. And for those who are into off-roading, you know exactly why. We're cheating a little bit here for the next one because we reckon this will come out in the Philippines by 2024 and not this year. We are of course talking about the next generation Mitsubishi Strada, and the global premiere is slated for this year. Now, given how far pickups have come along over the years, we've got high expectations for this particular model. That said, not much is known about it, but that's all the more reason we're looking forward to this next-gen truck. Is Suzuki going to have a quiet 2023? Well, we doubt that because they did preview the Ertiga Hybrid during the Philippine International Motor Show, and that pretty much confirms its impending arrival soon. But what we do want to know is if Suzuki Philippines will introduce the 5-door Jimny in the country down the line. See, several spy shots have been seen over in India that the 5-door Jimny is closer to its global debut. If so, then we're expecting Suzuki Philippines to have reservation books bursting at the seams. There are 2 new Honda models we would like to see in showrooms soon, and we'll start with a more practical one, the 6th generation CR-V. Now, the 6th Gen CR-V made its premiere in North America a couple of months back, and several test mules have been spied in Thailand since. Now, given that the CR-V is one of Honda's top sellers in the country, this will likely be one of the significant debuts of the year. Of course, we can't leave the subject of Honda without mentioning the next generation Civic Type R. Now, given the success of the outgoing model, quite frankly, we'd be more surprised if Honda didn't sell the next gen R here. And you can bet that we will get behind the wheel of it if it comes out this year. Last but not least is Toyota. You didn't think we'd leave out the country's largest automaker out of this video, didn't you? Well, 2022 was a banner year for the brand with big launches, namely the Raze, the Avanza, the Veloz, the GR86, and so on. But we reckon Toyota's going to have an even bigger 2023 if they decide to launch these 2 all-important and all-new models. Doesn't take a genius to figure it out. We're talking about the 5th Gen Vios and the 3rd Gen Innova. There is a lot riding on the next generation Vios, namely because every person in this country knows someone who owns one, or maybe you own one. Now, it shifts to a Daihatsu platform that underpins the Raze, Avanza, and the Veloz, so it'll be interesting to see how this sedan will drive. Of course, there will be those Toyota purists who will say that the Vios is not a true Toyota product anymore because it's based on a Daihatsu, but really to settle that debate, we have to try it out first before we make our judgment. And either way, Daihatsu is owned by Toyota, so really not much argument there. And speaking of massive changes, the all-new Innova is as clean sheet as it gets. Sorry diesel fans, you won't even get that engine option anymore. You won't get a truck chassis. You won't get rear-wheel drive. You won't even get a manual anymore. But no matter what you think of its shift, this is a model we want to see this year, because the name Innova is worth its weight in gold. If the all-new Innova does arrive here next year, we are pretty sure we'll get the 2-liter gas-powered model with a CVT. Yes, I can see you Innova purists cringing in the background. But what we're not sure of is the hybrid option. Now, given that Toyota's direction is more towards hybrid power, there's a pretty good chance we might get that here. Of course, time will tell if it will land here, and interestingly enough, the market acceptance over in Indonesia has been pretty strong. And what we're looking forward to is, will it get the same acceptance here in the Philippines? So that's our 2023 new car roundup and wish list. What model do you want to see revealed this year? Drop a comment below, or you can catch up with us through our socials. Till next time, guys. See you in the next video.